Well, Coaching Success Radio, if you have been an entrepreneur for a while, you've probably seen these motivational quotes popping up all over your Facebook feed, people giving you all these wonderful feel-good advice and stuff, and it's good. There's a quote that comes around every so often that you keep seeing, and it's by Albert Einstein, and it says, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results." So knowing this and having this premise, I got to share with you what just happened with somebody I was trying to onboard in my coaching program. Check it out.
As I build my coaching business, I want to know how to effectively serve clients and make more money doing it. This podcast will pull back the curtain to reveal exactly how successful coaches are building their empires. Join me as I engage with top coaches from all over the world to discover their secrets. No theatrics and no theory, just real life strategy. My name is William Winterton, and this is Coaching Success Radio.
Hey, all right, thanks for joining me. And so here's the thing, is I want to be super honest with everyone here. I have coaching clients. I have a lot of clients that I've helped over the years. I get great results for them. I do, I think, pretty good work. And the rapport I have with my clients is very strong, to the point that even after we're done coaching, I like to stay in contact with them and just see how they're going and developing. And I like to just kind of keep it personal and real. I don't want to take anybody on as a client that I can't work with or that I can't really feel like I have a connection with. In other words, if I feel like after we're done working, we're both going to be like, I'm glad that's over with. Like, I really don't want that. So I work really, really hard to try and bring people into my coaching program that I really want to work with. I strongly advise you to do the same thing, because otherwise you're going to be stuck. It's going to be a trap, and you're going to find yourself trying to what am I looking for? Trying to overserve them. You're trying to be overly over the top, crazy value giving, offering, do anything you can to try and make this work. I'm going to advise strongly against that. I don't know why my brain just completely went blank there, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, somebody isn't liking what you're doing and they're not getting results, and you're like, man, what's happening? Why isn't this working? Especially when you're first getting started. I know I've said it before, I'm a people pleaser. That's kind of where it's wired into my brain. So if somebody's struggling with something and they're having a hard time and my coaching isn't getting it for them, and they're not getting the methods and they're not understanding it, they're taking action, but they're just not seeing quite what they want to see. Like, I will go as far as you want to go. If you're going to give 150%, I will give 150% to make sure you get the result that you're looking for. Otherwise, what's the point of doing all this, right? My goal is to help coaches grow their online business, or grow their business, really, mostly online. If they can't do that through my program, then I feel like, okay, something went wrong. Something went tragically wrong, and I've got to rethink everything, right? So I work very, very hard with my clients. I want to advise you to do the exact same thing with yours. Don't ever give up on them. And if something doesn't go perfectly right, keep working, keep struggling. But you've got to make sure you have a client that's going to meet you at least halfway. At least, they got to show up. They got to do the effort. They got to do as much work. Because like I said, I'll put in exactly as much effort as they put in. If somebody came to me and we start working and pretty soon they taper off and they're like, yeah, not so much, I'm not going to have a lot of energy for you. Okay, I'll try and help you, but I only have so much I can give. And if you're in there working your heart out and something's just not making sense, I'm not necessarily going to give you the answer, like, here's how you should do it, but I will coach you and I will get you to that answer. I will work super hard to get you where you need to go. Okay? So I say all that to preface what I'm going to say here. I just got off a call with a prospect. All right. So now I also want to be honest and share things that don't go well. In other words, I don't onboard every person I talk to, partly because it's not a good fit, partly because they aren't interested in moving forward in the direction that we want to move forward. There really are coaches out there who are looking at me like, yeah, 5 figures a month, I'm not really sure I want that. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's fine. You don't have to have that. I'm just really genuinely, that's okay if that's not what you're shooting for, because it does take a certain level of persistence and a certain level of work to get there. And if you're not really driven for that, I'm not going to push you. All right, so maybe they're onboarding because they don't want that number. Maybe they're not onboarding because it's not a good fit between us. We don't have a good chemistry. To this particular call, I just want to share it because the conversation's been good. We've talked. This is actually a follow-up call, which I don't really ever do. But we had an initial conversation, and then she's like, I want to have a follow-up call just to kind of see. I really want to chat. And she's a wonderful, wonderful woman. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'll follow up with you and have a brief chat. So what was interesting about this conversation was, as we're talking, I'm going through everything. I'm just on these calls, I go through exact process. Okay. And in fact, if you want to know my exact process for getting you to the point you want to get to, you can go to williamwinterton.com. I lay everything out there. There's nothing, I'm not hiding anything. Okay. So I'm not going to share anything with you that you're not going to hear from me already. That you can't, I'm just going to, my coaching is here to help support you and get you to where you want to go, which actually works a lot faster than trying to do things on your own. So my conversation with her was just sharing exactly my process. Here's how you got to get to, get your avatar figured out, your ideal client, you're dialed in on your niche. You're going to get dialed in your marketing, dialed in on your messaging. Here's how you're going to message. I'm just kind of going through some stuff with her because she's asking a bunch of questions. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is great. What's interesting is as we get to the point where I'm like, all right, cool. Do you want some help with this? Can I help you with your coaching and get you where you want to go? It's at that point she kind of turns. And what's weird is it's not even like it's a money thing initially, because I know that I know money's never really the issue. And let me explain what I mean. If you charge $1,000 or $5,000 or $20,000, whatever your number is for your coaching program for a duration of time, getting somebody to onboard with you, generally it's not money that's stopping them. It's that they don't believe that you're the right person to help them, or it's they don't believe that the problem they have is strong enough, or they don't believe in themselves. Like they don't think that they're able to actually fix it. That's a big one. And more often than not, it's getting them over that hurdle to think that, yeah, okay, I got a lot of testimonials to show that this works, but I'm different. I don't think you're going to be able to help me, and I don't think I can pay you the kind of money you want to get paid. That's really a lot of it. But this situation was a little interesting. After I just said, hey, did you want some help? I would be more than happy to set you in the program and get you started, and we'll get you these results. I think it's perfectly possible. You've seen great results with the people you're working with. I've identified 3 or 4 hangups. I'm like, I can get you through these things really quickly, and we can start scaling you really fast. And she kind of paused and she said, well, here's the thing. About 6 months ago, 6 or 8 months ago, whatever she said, she had gotten with another coach who did something probably similar to what I do, and kind of went through the process and talked about, again, how to message, how to market, getting your dream clients, building your avatar, getting yourself, set up where, getting yourself set up where you're actually on level to start making the kind of money you want to make. And she said, I worked with this woman, 6, 8 months ago, and she took me through this whole process, and it was different than what you're saying, because, X, Y, and Z were different. But I didn't get any results from it, and I didn't see anything happen. And then she kind of disappeared, and I went through the program, but she's like really reserved and really hesitant. So I can tell right now, it's not me that she's concerned about. It's the process, and it's this other experience. She has this bad experience of what happened before, and she's trying to now overcome something that really had nothing to do with our conversation at all. It's just it's a past experience that she can relate to. So in this conversation, I said, so tell me about what happened. And she kind of went into the conversation and said it was good. She had some kind of an online course and she walked her through, but there was, it didn't connect with her. She wasn't able to resonate. Plus, she was very new in her coaching business at the time. She was like a month into it. So things have changed quite a bit. But she's like, yeah, I spent a pretty good amount of money on this, and I never really got the results I wanted. I said, okay, well, I understand that. And I said, that's kind of why, again, I want to make sure you're in a good place. I don't want to push you in any direction. I don't want to work with you if you're feeling pushed or, I'm not going to force anybody to work with me. I don't need that, right? I really don't need another client just to add to my database just so I can be like, hey, yeah, you got to work and I need the money. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with if you're in the right position and I'm in a position where I can help you, I feel it's an obligation. Like I feel like I have to serve you, and if you're willing to take the plunge with me, I'm going to get you where you want to go, and I'm going to work my tail off to get you where you need to be. In her dilemma, what was really interesting is that she's talking about, well, I've had all these, I had this bad experience, and it wasn't a bad experience, but it just didn't get me the results I wanted. Totally understand. And then she said something that really kind of made me go, like, what are you talking about? She said, what I should do, and she's thinking to herself, and she says, I should reconnect with this person because we finished our coaching and I didn't receive the results I was looking for. And she said, I should reconnect with her and see if now that you've explained to me a little bit different pattern to go about this and a better structure to go about this, I wonder if she'd be willing to pick up where she left off and work with me so that I can get the result I'm looking for. And I literally didn't know what to say at that. I mean, I was just kind of like I said, huh? So let me make sure I understand this correctly. So I've gone through your program. I know what you're coaching. I know how to help you. I've laid it out. I've said, here's how go for this. Do this step A, step B, step C. Set yourself up. Be ready, ready to market, message yourself, get dialed in, start fine tuning some stuff. And I'm laying it out here for you. Here's how this should work. And then she turns the conversation and says, well, yeah, I've actually been working with somebody who did something similar. It wasn't the same and it didn't work. But I think I'm going to go back to her and see if she can help me for free, because she's already obligated herself, even though the time's passed and she's not coaching her anymore. But I paid so much money. I'm wondering if she would just be willing to coach me now that I have a better understanding. I really didn't know what to say. I'm not usually at a loss for words, but this kind of threw me for a loop. And the only thing I could think of is, why would you want to go back to somebody who took you through a journey that didn't take you anywhere, that didn't solve anything for you? Because you're scared about taking a next step. You feel like there's a safety zone going back, even though it was a failing proposition before. You feel like there's safety in what you're familiar with. So I'd rather go back and spend time with this person who didn't get me results that I wanted, just because I've already put money and I've already invested money in it, and because it's familiar to me. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So I said, okay, great. Go back with her. Let me know how that works for you. I really would like to know. It was just interesting. I didn't feel bad about not getting a sale. I didn't feel bad about not onboarding a new client. It had nothing to do with it. I was just blown away that somebody would want to revert back, would want to go backwards from where they are now and try and rehash something that failed. They didn't want to go a different direction. They didn't want to try something new because they felt better and more comfortable going with what was familiar. If this woman were to come back, I've just been thinking, if she was to come back to me in a few months and be like, you know what? Yeah, I went back to so-and-so and it didn't work out. So I would like to try your coaching program. I don't know that I'd be comfortable bringing her into my program just after a phone call. You know what? I don't want to be that boyfriend that the fallback guy, right? I'm going to go hang out with this person, and then also that didn't work out. Well, I've got William. I can always go back to him. I don't want that. I want a client who's serious, who understands the process and wants to move forward. So it's okay to be picky. It's okay to be particular. I just thought this was a really interesting case. So I wanted to share this story with you. Hopefully this resonates and you get some value out of this. And when you're building your coaching program, I cannot stress this enough. You've got to be super specific on who it is you want to work with and who it is you don't want to work with. Because I'm telling you, if you get stuck working with somebody that you don't enjoy, you can't really see yourself enjoying time with them, that's a long time to spend with somebody, and they've paid you and they're expecting results. And I was like, man, if they're not giving you the kind of energy and they're not devoted to the training and they're not really putting the effort in and there's no rapport, man, it is a tough road. So anyway, hopefully this has been helpful.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking us out. New episodes are coming out every few days, including lots of conversations with massively successful coaches sharing their secrets with you. So be sure to subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel so that you don't miss out. And if you're looking for a way to start making serious money from your coaching, you need to check out my free training. It's at williamwinterton.com. I lay out the step-by-step on how to start making 5 figures a month in the next 60 days. Check it out, williamwinterton.com. I'll see you next time.